Morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning here in Southern California. I hope you're having a great day so far. We've got a lot on the morning briefing. We're going to continue our Name the Boat contest for the boat that's going down to Puerto Vallarta. Ricky Carbajal, that's going to be finished here very, very soon. So make sure you put a comment up about that in our comment sections on our YouTube channel. Surf fishing, I'll be a guide here, taking you throughout Southern California and showing you how you can catch lots of surffish. That's probably a month or two away, but if you'd like to get on the list, just send me a text at 657-227-645. Now, San Clemente Island and Albacore, there's been some rumors, but I haven't seen a photo yet or anything else. And of course, we've got so much more this morning on the Morning Briefing. Good morning and welcome, everybody. Hey, it is fantastic to be with you all. Man, there is some really great fishing going on. We're going to get into all of that, as you know, here on the Morning Briefing. And man, I think San Diego looks fantastic. LA Orange County looks great too. It's going to be that fall that we thought it was going to be, with some minor exceptions. We'll get into all of that and more. Once again, I want to thank you for all of your thoughts and prayers for Captain Eddie Leland. He's a great guy, and he's battling cancer, and so many of you have been putting posts up on Facebook supporting him, and that means so much to Eddie. I'll be over there seeing him in the next couple of days again, and I will send him all your love and very, very best. And a good friend, Crystal Ponce, got a little ill. I think she's going to be just fine, but Crystal, keep getting better. We can't wait to get down to Rosarita Beach and visit with you and your husband, Albert, and your whole family. So that should be a lot of fun. Don't forget, lobster season is opening up on Saturday, and Steve Oropesa from Promar, he's got a great seminar here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. You can get caught up on that and so much more. All right, let's jump into it right now. Let's go south of the border down to Ensenada, where Blackfin Charters Arnie Man. You can find him on Facebook, and of course Costa Baja Sport Fishing, and that's Diego Nuno. He's the deckhand on the Royal Star. They are continuing to have just a dream season out of Ensenada. The wind is coming down. It's going to be a gorgeous weekend. It's a good one for you to pop across the border, enjoy some Baja hospitality, and catch some fish on one of the pongas down there, even the bigger sport fishers. It's really good if you find the right kelp. As you well know, there's a lot of Dorado, but there's a lot of tuna, a lot more tuna. We'll hear that in San Diego also, pushing up the Baja coast. It continues to move up. We've got another storm down Cabo way, pushing more warm water this way, and we're seeing more skipjack, which is a tropical type of fish, and an indication that our warm water bite is far from over. So that looks good down there. You're fishing virtually the same tackle that you would fish out of San Diego, so I can kill two birds with one stone, or kill two yellowtail with one lure. Let's put it that way. You're fishing that 25 to 40-pound fluorocarbon with a 2-0 hook when you're fishing the sardine. We like Opsin Fluorocarbon, www.opsinusa.com. Make sure you put in FA at checkout for a free gift from Greg, as well as a love note from him. So that fluoro really is working well, and in that range. Now, what would make you choose 25 over 40? You know, it's going to be the intensity of the bite. If it's full speed wide open, you can go to that heavier line. If you find a kelp and you see Dorado under it and they just don't want to bite, you're going to go to the 25 or even down to 15. And then you're dropping your hook size down also. So pay attention to the ferocity of the bite. And if it's full speed, that's when you're going to go to the heavy. Now, something with chrome in it is a good way. I'm talking about a lure, obviously. Daiwa Sakana is a great example. Something with chrome in it. Yellowfin tuna love to bite it. Those skippies will bite it too. You'll get the bluefin to bite it. That's a good way to go also. And when you're fishing the iron, you don't go anything lighter than 40 pound. And I prefer 50 pound. And of course, if you're seeing those great big bluefin tuna, you're definitely going to want to get some heavier line than that. We'll talk about bluefin up around SCI, San Clemente Island, as that place is heating up again and rowing really, really well. So same tackle, same thing, choosing a good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. Stick baits have also been really effective on yellowfin as well as the bluefin tuna. Now, let's talk size of the fish, same thing, San Diego and Baja, so we can kind of kill two yellowtail with one lure again. And we're talking about yellowfin tuna in the 8 to 12 pound class. That's the vast majority, but fish to 50 pounds. Sometimes you'll get a stop on the real little one. Sometimes you'll get a stop on the mixed. Sometimes it's the straight biggies for some of the boys down there. So that's good news. And the bluefin tuna down here in this neck of the woods, whether it's lower northern Baja, like below Ensenada, or up there on the Coronado Islands and west of there, most of it seems to be like that 25 to 50 pound BFT right now. Catchable, beautiful grade, nice fish, and there's a lot of them. We're seeing more and more of it flush up. Pongueros are telling me that we are seeing mucho atún, Felipe, so I like the sound of that. It just adds to the Dorado and everything else. And now I'm kind of back in that thing. When are we going to catch a wahoo? We've been saying that for a while now, but are we going to get some incredible catch like a who or a blue marlin or something like that? And with more skipjack and more tuna and all of that flushing up the Baja Coast, I think it is perfectly believable. It's viable for that to happen because of all that warm water. So fingers crossed, things looking good. Hopefully we're going to see more of it. Ranger 85. Let's talk San Diego, 2.5 day trip, 124 on the Dorado, 260 on the yellowfin tuna, 30 skipjack, there you go with the skippies, 1 yellowtail grande. Now that's a boat that leaves in the morning, comes back in the afternoon. Our friend Scott Buchert was on that trip yesterday, as I told you all, and Scott said, Phil, first of all, we hit the tuna zone and they're biting. They're biting really, really well, mostly bluefin, but it was on the bite. And some really great fishing, great crew here on the Grande, Scott said, and really fabulous fishing going on the BFT. Then they also caught some yellowfin, and then they go off to Dorado zone and easy limits on the Dorado. A great day on the Grande. Scott said he had so much fun fishing and catching tuna in Dorado. And guess what? That weather is finally moderating. It's not been unfishable, but it's been uncomfortable and kind of, you know, almost like jackass weather where the seas are going in different directions and it's just kind of uncomfortable. They plowed through that, caught lots of fish during that, and now we're getting to some really lovely weather. It's just going to go on and on and on again, and that same tackle tip is what you want to use. 12 bluefin on board the Grande. They had one that went 60 pounds, gorgeous fish. A couple of yellowfin. They also had limits of Dorado. How can it get any better than that? And the guys on the San Diego, the boat out of Seaford that leaves in the morning, comes back in the evening, they think we are setting up for an incredible fall, and I have to concur. It looks like we're going to have one heck of a fall bite if this all keeps up. And we still have that push of warm water, which is really good, bodes well for a long fall. And if we stay away from wintertime-based storms, we are going to be in the driver's seat for quite some time to come. We could ride this into the new year. Now, I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but if we don't get any winter-based storms and this water stays warm, that's exactly what's going to happen, which bodes well. Also for our Relentless trip on October 29th, that is great stuff. And I love what we're seeing. Ocean Odyssey, limits of yellowfin tuna, limits of Dorado. It just goes on and on and on and on. Fantastic fishing going on. So really excellent fishing for the San Diego-based boats. The longer boats, as you heard, the 2.5 day trips, all getting them. The boats leaving in the morning. Mahi-mahi's trying to get out there and get in on this action. All those guys, San Diego, Mahi-mahi, all those one-day boats are having fantastic fishing. And it doesn't seem to want to slow down one bit at all. Now, the bluefin tuna zone out there near San Clemente Island, it's biting. Long-range boats are starting to get on it and really hammer it out. They had to tough it out through some tough weather, but it's really excellent, and that bodes well for my friend, of course, the 540 Slingers guy, Jeff Yeomans. He'll be on the Pride this weekend, and I'm telling you right now, I think they're looking down the barrel of some really excellent fishing, as evidenced by the Amigos 1.5 day trip here recently. The Amigo had an absolutely wonderful trip. At San Clemente Island, they picked off 60 3, yellowtail. Now, I talked to Captain Mark Paisano about it, and he said, Phil, it was never wide open at any given point during the time, but we just kept working at it and pounding away at it. And we caught fish on the yo-yo iron, on the surface iron, on stick baits, on bait. He said, just about any way you can think about catching a yellowtail, we caught them on this trip. And this is one of Damien's charters. Damien works up in the ticket office of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. And man, I'll tell you what, he puts on great, fantastic charters. I see him when they're leaving. He's taking care of his people. He does just a remarkable job. You'd be wise to join him on an Amigo trip and have some fun. And not only that, I mean, the ambience is going to be great. You're going to really enjoy it. So another good one there. Now, they did some nighttime fishing also on board the Amigo, and they ended up, as I say, with 17 bluefin tuna. So Jeff Yeomans, you are looking down the barrel of a great trip on the Pride. I'm assuming with a nicer weather that bite could get better and better and better and better. So we kind of covered the island there and the offshore bluefin. I do need to mention to you that there are still bluefin in that zone that get up to 200 pounds. So I wouldn't fish with anything less than 100, 130. Joe Martinez, I know you're watching with your wife out there, and I send her all my very, very best. Joe, of course, had that 315 pounder, whatever it was, up there on the Endeavor earlier this year, biggest one so far this year. Joe fishes heavy tackle. His advice is get down there first. When the captain says drop, don't take another sip of your coffee. Don't go in to do something silly. Drop, get down fast, and use the appropriate weight. Depending on wind and current, you're going to go from 200 grams to about 500 grams. Joe just keeps using that same jig, by the way, that he caught the 300 pounder on, and he just keeps catching fish. So I'm turning to him for advice. I mean, the guy's been red hot all year long. Heavy line, get down there first. You got a really good chance to pull things off and make it happen on one of those trips. All right, let's go to the islands. Todos Santos off Ensenada. There's yellows there. There's yellows at the Coronado Islands. We covered Clemente. There's been some up and down fishing, but pretty darn steady there. And now, you know, part of it was the wind. Now we got the wind out of the picture. Still going to be dealing with sea lions, but that's just part of the game nowadays. Up there in the Channel Islands, parts of that area are still dealing with wind today. Again, it's been a little bit breezy, unseasonably breezy for the fall. We normally don't have that. So hopefully that wind will lay down and we'll get back to some much better conditions. Probably going to see a sea bass flurry or two up there, some decent halibut. Always good rock fishing up there. And who knows, they may even get offshore again and find some Dorado. Remember the Aloha Spirit, I don't know, 10 days ago, something like that, had 100 plus on the Dorado up there in the Channel Islands. Pretty amazing stuff. Up in Fort Bragg, they had a yellowfin tuna 600 miles from San Diego, north of here, that was over 200 pounds. There's some incredible stuff going on, and I don't think you've seen the end of it yet. On the coast, there's some really good calico fishing at times. Redondo Special in the morning yesterday, what'd they have? They had 38 calico bass, but they released 120 bass. That's great fishing. They had 32 bonita and 29 goats, 29 sheep's head. That's really good local fishing. It's constant action, no question about it. And then also down in San Diego, a few big yellows for the boats around Point Loma and Dana Wharf, catching lots of bass, calico, shorts. And same thing up there in Ventura in that zone. We've seen some short calicos and some sand bass and also good rock fishing up there out of Ventura, sport fishing and all the landings up there. I skipped over Catalina Island. That was very naughty of me. So Cat actually is settling down. The fall bite there's pretty good. Smaller bonita providing lots of action. There's some decent bass fishing at times. There's sheep's head and whitefish and that kind of a thing. I mean, as I said the other day, we're coming down to earth from full speed, wide open Dorado, hooking marlin, doing all this crazy stuff, catching bluefin, yellowfin. We're coming down to earth now, and we're fishing the islands, and that's not bad fishing there. And once again, I don't think we're through with the offshore situation. LA Orange County based guys who've been out looking at kelps are still seeing some flatheads. They say they've got lockjaw. We'll see about that. We'll continue to watch that for you very, very closely. All right, you want to join me on my surf fishing guided trips? They're still off a ways in the distance. but you can get on the list by sending me a text to 657-227-6459. We might catch them, we might not, but we'll learn a lot together, and we're going to have a really good time. I guarantee you that. Perfect for dad and the kids, and once you get it dialed in on the surf, it's a very affordable little way to spend a few hours almost any day of the week working around your work schedule, get your fishing fix, maybe catch a nice fish, and breathe some beautiful fresh air on the Southern California and Baja coast. We'll be doing some stuff south of the border also. All right, everybody, hope you're having a great day. I love the way the fall is setting up. It's looking really, really good. Don't forget to give us a like. It means so much to us. Just smash that like button right now. And in the comment section, let's have another day of the Name the Boat contest down there out of Puerto Vallarta. Throw a good name up there. Ricky Carvajal or somebody's going to choose the winner, and then you're going to get a big box of swag, which always goes well. Let me grab my coffee one more time and say to you all, I wish you a wonderful day. Thanks for all you do for Eddie Leland. Thanks for all you do for our brothers and sisters south of the border. We're collecting more and more goods all the time for our January 6th Dia de Reyes giveaway down there in Mexico. So thank you for that, and I wish you nothing but the very best. Good morning, everybody. Have a great day.